Good afternoon, Sir Noel. Today we will present about analysis of lexical and paralinguistic. This is our member of group. The first one is Jonathan. Second is Nur Sazrin Putra. The third one is Nur Diana, and the fourth one is Nadira Hyul. Our objective is to identify how the speaker uses language and delivery to make the message more effective. In this presentation, we will explain how these features help to inform, engage, and express opinions. Overview of the reference video. Video title, Should Zoos Exist? What in the World podcast, BBC World Service. The speaker, Hannah Gilbert from the BBC World Service. The video presents both which is positive and negative views on zoos. Some of the issues highlighted include opinions from experts and realistic problem facing captive animals. The aim of making the video was for educational purposes. Overview of lexical and paralinguistic features. For lexical features, refer to the choice of words used by the speaker, which could include repetition, emotional words, and vocabulary. For paralinguistic features, refer to how the message is conveyed, which could include the speaker's tone of voice, facial expression, body language, and pauses. These features help speakers to communicate their ideas, convey emotions and attitudes, influence the audience. Initial analysis for lexical feature, rhetorical question, evidence, should zoo exist, timestamp at 0.40 second until 0.16 second. Explanation, the speaker uses a curious and captivating tone is employed by the speaker to capture the audience's interest and set the stage for introducing the topic. Initial analysis for paralinguistic features, tone of voice, engaging or curious, timestamp start from 0 until 0.20 second. Explanation, this question sets the stage for the topic that is going to be discussed in this page.
We move on to the next slide, which is the lexical analysis. This means we look at how the choice of word in the video helps to deliver the message about the issue of zoo. So for this slide, we can see that the speaker used technical terms such as conservation, endangered habitat, and trauma. This can be clearly heard from 0.23 to 0.57 and 2.227 to 3.107 in the video. For explanation, these terms are commonly used in science and animal conservation. Because of this, the discussion sounds more formal, factual, and professional. Besides that, there are also emotive vocabulary. For evidence, such as cruel animal welfare set. you can find these sentences 2.28 to 3.30 in the video. These words make us feel sympathy and compassion towards the animals in zoo. Indirectly, they influence the listener to be more sensitive to animals' welfare issues. For this slide, the speaker used action verbs such as protect, educate, breathe, and reintroduce. So the speaker mentioned these sentences at around 2.50 to 3.10 and 4.35 to until 5.26 in the video. These words show that zoo are not just a place to display animals, but they also take activity rules in protecting animals, educating the public, breeding species, and releasing them back into their natural habitat. Next, we can also see the use of decoys markers like however but so. You can find the sentences at 1.11 until 1.14 and 3.53 until 3.54 in the video. This work help connect ideas and show difference in viewpoint between those who support and those who oppose a zoo. This make the discussion more organized and easier to understand.
Lexical analysis feature use of historical and place names. Evidence: Mesopotamia, Greece, China, England, France, King Henry III, Tower of London, Queen Charlotte, French Revolution, World War II. You can find on the video at 0.14 and 40 until 1.46. Explanation: the use of real historical references makes the information more trustworthy and convincing. It helps listeners see how zoos have changed from symbols of royal power into modern places for education and conservation.
Right. Now, as per the video, it's more on the criticizing side or more on the opposing side regarding zoos. Back to what I said. It's on the more opposing side of the zoos, meaning they try to push back zoos as much as they can, or they try to at least humanify or disregard zoos as best as they can. So, as we move on to this following timestamp, we can see that an activist, Nikita has mentioned several key points that mention her opinions regarding on the oppositions or the pushbacks against unethical awarenesses regarding zoos. So, as we analyze her, she has completely said something like she has used strong emphasis on negative language or negation, especially with negative adjectives. This negative adjectives include trauma or cannot or anti-conservatory or something that blurs the line between morally good and vehemently evil. And if we look at her facial expressions, she's showing concern and extreme emotional intensity. This is because she wants us to feel how she feels. She wants to convey the message that she is absolutely agitated in this type of manner, and she's very compassionate about it. Now, as for her arguments against zoos, she has pointed out that it's very detrimental against an animal's mental and physical health, meaning animals cannot live peacefully within zoos because they are all surrounded with human faces. Zoos cannot mimic an animal's natural habitat, meaning a zoo is located geographically unstrategically and not geographically located in a place where they are not meant to be. For example, polar bears, they naturally inhabit the Arctics. However, if a zoo is located within the Middle East, for example, it wouldn't survive at all. It would have a very hard time trying to process the overall habitation and weather there. And she's also argued that zoos are not always conservational, meaning that there are zoos who protect animals and there are zoos who vehemently display them as per entertainment purposes. Now, let's look at the second criticisms as represented by one of our speakers called William. You can find the timestamp in accordance with this number over here. Now, William argues that zoos are against. Now, William is absolutely against animal-based entertainment, meaning that animals are there to live alongside, coexist peacefully with humans, not be used as inanimate objects that we can just buy or sell as per animal trafficking. Now, he believes that zoos promote wild animals for profit, meaning animals can be used to generate income or their annual gross incomes as per every visitor visiting with their money. Now, he also argues that zoos have cruel treatments regarding animal welfare, meaning that some zookeepers and some animal professionals, such as veterinarians, are quite contradictory to their professions. For example, an animal may be in need of help, but for some reason the professionals think that, oh, that's fine, don't worry about it. Now, as for his analysis, he uses argumentative language, meaning that he is using fact-based findings to back up his opinions, which is of course there's a second point over here. Now, even though he looks calm, as in he is just sitting down and just talking about his own feelings, he is absolutely passionate in his opinions, and his opinions are also backed up with evidence, as said in said timestamp. Now, let's look at the paralinguistic analysis. Let's start with Nikita. Nikita changes her tone of voice from the initials of minute 723. We can clearly see that she is calm first, but as time goes on, she will try and provoke us, not negatively, but try to provoke us in terms of supporting her ideas more and more. Now, this means that she uses serious and compassionate emotions as well as expressive body language to convey her traumatic observations. Now, when it comes to body language, she tends to either jump up and down or show more emotions on her face. Now, let's look at the second presenter or opponent, which is William. Now, as for William, he expresses his expressions through highly expressive facial emotions. Now, what this means is that he conveys his findings through an expressive face to show dissatisfactions towards the maltreatment of wild animals. This means that even though he's just sitting peacefully, looking at the audience or looking at the host, he is in fact very disgusted at the state of zoos nowadays for profiting and trafficking wild animals as per entertainment. Next.
Next, for the conclusion, in the final part of the video, the discussion shifts towards the future of zoos and possible solution to the issue raised earlier. The speakers introduce the concept of ethical sanctuaries, which focus on prioritizing animal welfare rather than entertainment. These sanctuaries aim to provide animals with more natural living environments while reducing human control and interference. Instead of completely removing zoos, the video suggests that zoos can be improved and transformed into more ethical and responsible spaces. This presents a more balanced and forward-looking perspective on the issue. For the lexical and paralinguistic features, in this final section, several important lexical and paralinguistic features can be identified. The speakers use modal verbs such as should and must to express the need for change and to emphasize responsibility. They also use positive and forward-looking words like better, ethical, and future to create a sense of hope and possibility. In terms of paralinguistic features, the speakers maintain a calm and measured tone, which makes their ideas sound more balanced and credible. They also use pauses effectively to highlight key points and allow the audience to better understand the message. Together, these features strengthen communication and make the message more impactful. Next, the importance of listening comprehension. Understanding lexical and paralinguistic features is very important for listening comprehension. Lexical features help listeners identify the speaker's main ideas, purpose, and overall message. At the same time, paralinguistic features help listeners interpret the speaker's emotion, attitudes, and level of emphasis. By paying attention to both what is said and how it is said, listeners are able to detect meaning more accurately, including elements such as bias, emotion, or urgency. This allows for deeper understanding and help listeners become effective and critical in processing spoken information. In conclusion, the video demonstrates that the issue of whether zoos should exist is complex and involves multiple perspectives, including conservation, education, and animal welfare. From our analysis, lexical features help to clearly express ideas and influence the audience, while paralinguistic features enhance meaning through tone, emotion, and delivery. Both elements are essential for effective communication and play an important role in listening comprehension. Overall, communication is not only about what is said, but also how it is said. And understanding both aspects allows us to become more informed and critical listeners.
That's all from us. Thank you very much. If you have any suggestions on how we can improve, we are welcome and appreciating them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.